Now, the Office of the Chief Justice will lead a panel interviewing for a new IEC Commissioner. It comes after former vice-chairperson Janet Love's term came to an end last month. The public has until Friday to make comments on the shortlist of 12 candidates who will be interviewed on the 27th of June this year. Let's discuss this further. I'm joined by Sheilan Clarke, spokesperson of My Vote Counts. Sheilan, very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. How significant is this appointment, especially looking at the number of months ahead of next year's elections?
Well, I mean, for the IEC being a Chapter 9 institution and being an institution that is quite important in our democracy, they ensure that our democracy quite functions as it should. And it's quite important that we follow, this process and make sure that whoever is appointed is the right person for the job. Especially now we are a year away from the 2024 elections. This one will be the first one where we have a new electoral system because the IEC has to now implement the new Electoral Amendment Act, which came into effect last month. Then there's, of course, another piece to their mandate, which is the Political Party Funding Act as well. So there's quite a lot that the IEC needs to do in, this short space of time. So this is quite significant to follow this process and, like I said, ensure that the right person gets the top job.
Yeah. Public comments closing in 2 days' time. What exactly should the public be commenting on?
Well, the candidates, there's a list of 12 candidates that will be interviewing for this position on the 27th of June. So we should be looking at, is this person not only qualified for the job as with any job, but will this person be able to hit the ground running? Because even as we speak, the IEC have put things in place to put the new system in place for the elections and the elections in general. But will this person be able to hit the ground running? Do they know how do they know how these things work? Are they able to take on this massive mandate that the IEC has with such a short or small resource that they have? So we really need to ensure that we have the right person for the job.
And we know that there were a number of delays. Why was the deadline extended?
So the initial deadline for the nomination process was extended because for the first time around the IEC did not feel they had a good group of candidates, which just shows you that the IEC really does take, this seriously, that they need to make sure that the person is the right person for this job. So this is why there was an extension for the nomination process. Again, it's a really good sign that the IEC does take this seriously.
In trying to assess the criteria, we know that this interview panel consists of the Chief Justice, the Public Protector, Chairperson of the Commission for Gender Equality and the Chairperson of the South African Human Rights Commission. What did they have to consider as they selected the 12 candidates? I mean, you speak about the delay being around scrutinizing the criteria.
Well, of course, the experience. I mean, these are all members of all our Chapter 9 institutions. So experience, being in a Chapter 9 institution, carrying out the mandate, following the Constitution. It's a very high-level job, and also with the IEC ensuring that all elections are free and fair. So having the interests of voters in mind, being partial to the voters, that is, having voters in mind. So making sure that these candidates are there for the right reasons and the right reasons only to ensure that they carry out the mandate as they should.
Very well. Thank you so much. Let's perhaps leave it there for now. Sheilan Clarke, spokesperson of My Vote Counts, speaking to the Office of the Chief Justice, leading a panel interviewing for a new IEC Commissioner.